Back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to share with you this little technique. It's basically something really simple. What is this guy? This is actually creature made using geometry nodes though created using curve. Okay, so the geometry nodes is really simple. Basically, take the curve, just resample it, and then after you resample the curve points, simply use point to volume and volume to mesh. And you can play around with adaptivity and the voxel amount. But basically take the consideration of the original radius of the curve. So without the radius of the curve, it's just gonna be like like normal points that you can randomize. I know you might want your character to look like this, but you might want to take consideration of the actual curve and being able to change the radius of the curve. Okay, so this is actually kind of similar to ZSphere, maybe in ZBrush. So you can see that the weird thing is that in this case I can actually have like a branching with the curve. In the past I don't think that's possible, but it's interesting that you're able to do this anyway. And maybe this is what you want. Well, but anyway, let's build this from scratch. So first of all, get rid of everything. If you start Shift A, curve and Bezier, so by default we get this, right? If you feel tempted, you can add the bevel depth, and then you can go to edit mode and then start changing the radius of the curve. This is normally what you do with the curve, and then you can easily add things like subdivide in between. So if you select both the points, oh okay, we don't have any subdivisions yet, so select all, subdivide. Now we have extra curve points that we can scale. You can do it again, subdivide. You have extra points there. Yeah, pretty nice. So let's save this very quickly. Curve radius. And we can of course simply use this inside geometry nodes now. Geometry nodes, and then you can try resample. One thing you might realize right away is that it thinks that the curve is actually a mesh now. So this is one thing you need to keep in mind. You need to get rid of this bevel. Zero it out. Now it's becoming a normal curve again. So you can actually now resample it, and then you can use curve to points, point to volume. Actually you don't need, maybe you don't need resample to curve, you just use curve to points. It's the same thing, and you have tangent normal rotations, so that might be what you want. And the next thing you need to do is just to use volume to mesh. Okay, now we have our mesh from curve. We just haven't used the radius. Okay, now we have our curve with the radius, and all we need to do is just to reshape this guy. If you want to make like some kind of character, so I don't know what I'm going to make. Maybe I'm just gonna rotate this. This is a good practice if you are new to Blender and you're still figuring things out, how to use the tools. It's a good idea to look at the tools here, and then you can also use like all the hotkeys after a while, like rotate, so you can see the rotations of the curve. The curve also have this anchor, what is it called, kind of like a Bezier path that you can adjust. Okay, maybe this is the beginning of your character. Oops, need to rotate it 90 degrees, apply. Duplicate it, and you can make it the arm. I'm adjusting the pivot and just simply move it there. Arm on, or maybe some kind of tentacles. So it's becoming like a Z-sphere. Just this, maybe add more subdivisions in between. So I'm just playing with the scale. So it's probably like, I just extrude it again using X. I don't know, it's funny how you can actually branch the curve in recent version of Blender. Normally you cannot really do that. You can select all the curve and then go to edit modes all at the same time and just adjust the curve. So again, I just made like a branching. So yeah, let's say we have something like this, and you can, so for character concept, right click, subdivide once again, adjust the scale there. Try increasing the voxel amount. You can adjust the adaptivity. So with adaptivity, so you go to like low resolutions, and you can perhaps like sculpt it at some point. This monster should have like a head part. Yeah, I think this is a better shape. So from this point, you cannot, I don't think you can use multi resolutions. You need to kind of bake the whole thing. File save as. If I try just combine everything, okay, the radius kind of still there. It's just because they're like they have different resolutions. They kind of merge together like that. What's a better way to do this? The easiest one is just to convert. Select all, right click, convert to mesh. So you lost all the geometry nodes, but you can just merge this into single objects and mirror it. Okay, so this is more or less what I'm trying to show you. It's pretty, from here, because it's already baked, you just apply the mirror and then go to sculpt mode and continue with sculpting the object, sculpting this character. Maybe I'm gonna do that for a bit. Turn on symmetry in the X, or in the actually in this Y directions. I watched the movie Love and Monster last night, and I love the monster character in that movie. It's really, I think the creator knows about monster and how to make like interesting, beautiful looking monster, and they look menacing but still like really beautiful. Oh, by the way, this guy might still be separated. Each of the parts still separated. You might want to remesh it. Smooth shading. Apply. Yeah. File. Save. Save as. Maybe use the snake hook and start pulling things. So it could be like a worm. Oh, okay. I haven't done much of sculpting, but it should be pretty intuitive. I did a bit of sculpting using the iPad and Nomad Sculpt, and I just created a mask and just gonna draw the eye socket like that. I can create a mouth as well. Yeah, maybe I need to practice that a little bit more. Let's clear the mask. If I gonna continue, I can use dynamic retopo, turn on dynamic retopo, so we can just go inside and draw like details. We don't have resolution there, but because we are using dynamic retopo, we can just go inside and draw the eyeballs, or maybe like the basic one. Just go closer and closer and draw more details. Yeah, it's gonna smooth. Oops. Probably better to use mask for the mouth. Just, I don't know, give you some teeth. Okay, anyway, this. Go to the top view and just grab. Probably adjust this legs a little bit. Yeah, probably it's a bit front heavy, so it's gonna fall. But anyhow, so this could be like the base for your monster creations, and then I have to work a little bit more. But yeah, you can see how we can create something like this using geometry nodes. I think, okay, at this point you can actually create like a mirror. You can mirror it later, but you can duplicate this, go to edit mode, select all of this, change the pivot into 3D cursor, which is this guy over here, and then just SZ. Transform orientation. It should work, but somehow it doesn't. Just -1 on the, then just move it here. Yeah, if you want to do that, I just show it to you. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically using curve instead of using skin modifier or things like that. If you never know skin modifier, if you create a cube, just go to edit mode, merge vertices at center, and then start pulling things, similar things. But I think the one using curve might have some benefits. You can also work this way, but I think the one with curve actually give you like tilt and some extra control. This one is good for tree and branching, but this guy with multiple curve give a little bit more solidity to the character somehow. So right click, again select object, convert to mesh, just join all of them if you want, and then you can also use like remesh and do like a quad remesh. This could work. Oh, it needs to be manifold and stuff. Okay, remesh, smooth shading, apply, quad reflow. Funny, hey, it doesn't seem to like it. Go to sculpt mode, and we're gonna do the remesh in here. Fox remesh, and then quad reflow remesh, turn off mesh symmetry, and just apply. Now it's much cleaner like this, and you can continue sculpting. You might also want to do like mirror. Okay, so that's basically the process. Hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.